want to speak for a moment, but Wikileaks, Snowdon and Julian Assange and all. I never really got into the Wikileaks stuff. I mean, I follow Dark Five, and he broke down a lot of that vault stuff, which is pretty cool. That they can spy on you through your TV, and I don't know why. To me, those men are heroes. And I think just like so much stuff in the Trump era, it's more representative of who we are as a society than it is Trump or Obama or anything. I think that basically what these men collectively, well not collectively, individually, in their own ways, they revealed American war crimes. Collateral murder videos. And I think just like with the Russian collusion and all that, that's really what you're looking at is an empire in decline that's got to resort to more and more extreme shit to maintain power. Trump going after the whistleblowers, the fact there was no outrage about that. Another example of what I'm talking about. Those men are heroes. Valerie Plume, the Minute Night Rider. Valerie Plume and her husband, excuse me, both of them. Joseph, I think his name is Joseph Plume. The boys at Night Rider. There's another person I'm thinking about. Those are heroes, and they stood up for integrity. The Pentagon Papers, and like I said, the fact that there is no real outrage, to me it shows you that America's an empire, and this is just what we do now. It's torture and rape and murder and kill and engage in wars of choice. And if you know what I mean? Like I said it before with Trump, that like you could probably say it's by every president that they have a new era. That Obama's era was making the national security state sexy, whereas Bush was like, everybody whose enemies must listen. Obama was kind of like, let's make it sexy and cool. And you had those movies, what's the Tom Clancy, Jack Ryan, where the dude was like in shape and all that. That's kind of what this era showed me, is that we're in this national security era. The murder of Muammar Gaddafi, the murder of Major Soleimani. These are murders, they're war crimes. And if America wasn't so extreme right, people would know that. People would recognize that for what that is. Murder. Yes, murder. They would recognize that. There'd be no confusion about that. I just feel like that that's what these things show us. You're talking about the moral fabric of a society, talking about the social conscience of a society, what a society holds dear, what a society values. I talked about it earlier with Trump, that if people aren't outraged about Trump, especially with COVID, but other things, I don't really know what to say to them. But we've been going on this path for a very long time of just a vicious empire that we just destroy whole countries because we feel like it. The Cheney doctrine, the 10% doctrine. These men are heroes. And if I have children, I want to teach, I would teach my children about Langston Hughes and James Baldwin and, famous black literature, but I would also teach them about whistleblowers, because you're talking about the test of integrity. The test of integrity is hard, but the whole world's waiting for someone just like you, just like me, to stand up and do what's right. That's not easy to go against your former employers and all that, to stand up, but that's integrity. I think Dr. King said it, very, very succinctly, that we begin to die when we stop caring about the things that matter. I believe that. I don't believe you can just stand still and ignore cruelty and wrongdoing, even when it's especially when it's your government. I think that's immoral. That's immoral. To just ignore it and just fall into your TV shows and entertainment and bullshit. I think that Snowden and Wikileaks and all that collectively is the conscience. They're our conscience. They are really our moral conscience right now. And I want to say before I end, I got to do something else here. Phone call. The fact that people jumped on Obama about Wikileaks, and the fact that people, jumped on him about pardoning Chelsea Manning, the transgender soldier, the source. But yet, first, you jump on Obama for it, but then when Trump used WikiLeaks to go after Hillary Clinton, that was okay. But when it was about the American empire, this warmongering empire that's been at war for 20 years on the basis of a lie, that is humiliating and it's so bad, and they exposed our troops. But when it was by Hillary Clinton, you were for it. That, for me, I look back at it now, plus Trump and all the stuff he's done. Conservatives have no morals. They pretend they got the little stick, they do their little stick and everything. But when it comes down to, it's all fake. It's all fake outrage, and none of that means anything. And I'll never take that seriously. That's what the pedophile thing is. It's about dumbing down enemies of the empire. Enemies of Trump. Dumbing it down. You can't come at them on the merits of what they're talking about because it's so popular. So you call them pedophiles, and you call them, they like children's blood, to dumb it down. It's just like calling black people and gay people communists back in the day. It's the same thing. Alienating people who are not that different. When you really look at it, they're not that different from you. But no, you alienate them, you vilify them, so people will be afraid of them. That's what the whole Pizzagate stuff was about. But the fact that when Obama pardoned Chelsea Manning, it was, that communists, he should have been hard on him. But when Trump, when the Great White Hope used the same stuff to go after Hillary Clinton, that was okay. And what it shows you is, when I was in InfoWars, I was against the empire, period. Okay? I don't care if it was the empire for Obama, I was against this warmongering military industrial complex, period. And what the Trump supporters were kind of saying is, we're fine with a fascist empire. We just don't like Hillary Clinton. We don't like this woman. We don't, she did a lot of villainy. But I'm not for a right-wing empire or a left-wing empire, period. That's the difference. Thank you for listening.